I've always been like a sad guy. Like I've always been very in my head and introspective. And my dad always, growing up, would watch Saturday Night Live. Like that was kind of his comedy outlet, and so like I grew up watching that, and I always had to go to bed after Weekend Update, which is like this stand-ups portion of the show, and it was always my favorite. And then like as I grew up, like I just discovered different comics. One in particular, Maria Bamford, just because she was so open about her mental health stuff. And it was like the first time because like I was struggling with stuff that I didn't even know I was struggling with, and here's someone talking about it, you know, in like this funny and like positive way, and I mean, and it's it's magic, you know. But like, and so like that's kind of what put the spark and the fire inside. But what really kind of pushed it off was my aunt. She was friends with another comic in the Tallahassee comedy scene, and she knew I was in the middle of like what was the worst depression of my life, and so she's like, "Get out of the house, come, there's a comedy show." And I was like, "There's comedy in Tallahassee?" And so I went that week. I went the next week. Went about 3 weeks in a row, and like that spark just was like being fanned, you know. And the more I went, the more I was like, I got to get on the stage. And the first time I got on the stage, it was like finding a pressure release valve, you know, for like my crazy, you know. It's like, oh, this is a place for that, you know. This is all those times where like I was just in my head, overthinking, overanalyzing stuff, and then kind of spewing it out to like a random person that didn't get it, didn't have the context for it, you know. If I put it here, if I give it context, then it has power and has meaning, you know. And so like I've done every single show offered me, anything I can sign up, I do, like because it's pulled me out of a hole, you know. Like I was in a dark place, and having a place to go, first of all, and like have people sharing their own troubles and, you know, successes and whatnot, but just sharing themselves and seeing that, and and then getting up on stage, and then as you kind of become a part of the community and you get to know people, then like it becomes a family. It's very, very tight knit, and so like, I mean, yeah, I do it, I stay with it because like it saves my life, you know, like I have to. It was nerve-wracking. Like I felt like I was gonna shit myself, you know, and like it was like a genuine fear. And like I've had a couple other of those moments, you know, and it's always when there's like a new mile marker, something that I'm testing myself, and so now it's like that's what I'm looking for, is those like pants shitting moments. But like I did acting and stuff. I was a thespian in high school, and I did some plays in college and whatnot, and so like I'd been on stage, I'd been in front of people. I'd also like I was a missionary, and I'd, you know, preach sermons in front of hundreds of, and so like being in front of people wasn't, you know, like something like new to me. And so I didn't get a whole lot of laughs, you know, but whereas, you know, some might hear like different silences and be immediately turned off for it, I wasn't turned off to silence at all, because most people are pretty quiet in a church, you know, and so like I'm used to talking to silence, and you know, but then you get those couple little laughs, and it's just like, oh, that they laughed at something that came out of my brain, you know, and it's a great feeling. Like, I'm real bad with names and stuff. I mean, I can tell you my top 3 comics, which Mitch Hedberg, Hannibal Buress, and Maria Bamford. Yeah, Hannibal Buress. I like Animal Furnace, but that's really the only one I can remember the name of because of the rhyming. But yeah, I'm really bad with like special names and stuff. It doesn't stick with me. I like The League. Like my girlfriend, she hasn't seen it, so I'm like taking her through it, rewatching it, and like it's very good. Sketch shows SNL, like hands down. But I've watched a little bit of it, like all of them, you know, because like I'm always interested in it. I was when I was a kid, I was a big Mad TV fan. Like that was always fun. Human Giant is really good with like Aziz and um, Paul Scheer. First one that comes to mind is Anchorman because like it was really pivotal to like my group of friends growing up like in high school. Like 15% of our conversations were just Anchorman quotes, and so like that shaped me in like a very weird way. It's another like silly, goofy one, but like Freddie Got Fingered, Tom Green. That was kind of a pivotal role to me. Is because like I believe I was in ninth grade, 8th or 9th grade, and had a buddy that was staying over the night with me, and we stayed up late. My parents had gone to bed, and we had like convinced them to rent the unrated version of Freddie Got Fingered. I don't know how, because my parents were super conservative, but somehow we snuck it under the radar. So we waited till they go to sleep, and we're like, we're gonna watch this movie, and it was just, we laughed so hard, like we cried like so many times because I mean both of us, like we grew up in the church. We were, you know, fairly repressed and, you know, strict upbringing and whatnot, and here is this guy Tom Green is just a nut, you know. He's a grown man and he's just like behaving like the craziest kid I've ever seen, and it was neat to see that. It was neat to see like, oh, as an adult you can still be silly, you know, like, and I think like I'm a very silly dude, and like I think that, you know, it's definitely in the mix of like why it came out to be is because like very early on, like I was always like attracted to like this silly stuff. It's just like, oh, I don't have to stop, you know, like I don't want to stop, you know, these people didn't, so like I'm gonna try and follow them however I can. Easy. Mitch Hedberg's. I don't have a girlfriend, but I know someone would be real pissed if she heard me say that. I think Bert Kreischer. We're very different comedically, and I think like sometimes that you know is a really good thing like for crowds. Actually, no, I take that back. His crowds would destroy me. No. Yeah, no, like as soon as I thought, but it would be really fun because like I really like I love Bert. Like his podcast like got me through some like dark days at work and stuff. Like listening to it and hearing him talk to comedians and just being so genuinely enthusiastic about comedy. Like that's the thing I like about him is like he's enthusiastic, and so like I would still do it. I would eat shit every night just to have the experience of, you know, seeing how he operates and he works, just because I mean he's a crazy person, but like his heart is really like beautiful. Like he's constantly like sticking his foot in his mouth, but like he's the first to admit it, you know. He's growing, he's, you know, constantly like evolving, and that's really like that's all you could want, you know. That's what I want to be. Like I want to, when I'm doing this 10 years, 20, like I want to be a different person, you know, not just comedically. Like I want to have grown, and like and I have like who I was 3 years ago when I started is a completely different person than I am today. Hannibal, he always has done great at the roast and whatnot. Tony Hinchcliffe, because I'm a huge fan of his podcast, Kill Tony. Nikki Glazer, she's always, I've always really enjoyed her on the roast lately. Attell. But I feel like he would really hurt my feelings. Like, Maria Bamford, because I want to see how she would roast somebody. Really, all of it. I have movie ideas in me. You know, I even I like music. I do a little bit of like songwriting, and I've played around. Like I have a joke song, but like that's something I'd like to try more and stretch out more. I love acting. Like I've done it. You know, I mean it's been a couple years now, but I definitely look forward to the opportunity to be able to do it again. And so that and what else should I say? Right now, my goal is like I want to start shipping videos out to festivals and whatnot, and really do as much as I can with that. I'm currently applying like for day jobs doing remote work so that I can work anywhere, so that I can start going to festivals or visiting other comedy communities and work during the day and still be able to go out at night and whatnot. And so that's the next couple years. And like this year I'm wanting to start a podcast that is gonna be like a religion and comedy podcast. Like I'm hoping it's something that is going to be new that like people haven't seen before, because like I think a lot of people are interested in the Bible and in religion and stuff in general. They don't want the dogma. They don't want like all the bullshit that comes with it, you know. And so like I think it would be really cool to get a bunch of comedians together and have talks, and have like a structure to it, but really dig into some like deep spiritual stuff just in a real silly way. You can find me on everything at Caleb C. Thomas. I'm on the thing I'm most active on is Instagram. So that'd probably be the best one. I want people to feel better about themselves. You know, like I wanna be real and open, but I also, you know, want to like have laughs. Like I wanna. I don't. There. I want people to walk away like thinking they've seen me, you know, like whatever that is, and through that see something in themselves, you know, because like that's what I want to try to be, and I'm trying more and more with my comedy to be more real and to be more honest, because like even like the silly jokes, they all come from real places, you know. And so like I've had these just silly jokes I've been doing for a while, and now I'm trying to get back to the heart of it and show like this is why I wrote this joke, you know, like yeah, it's just a silly jerk off joke, but it's because I was dealing with this super pent up sexual repression from years of, you know, systemic religious abuse, you know, like and so there's always a backstory, there's always like something to it, and yeah, I think whenever you're honest and real with people, like it it affects them, you know. But ultimately, though, I just want people to have fun, you know, just to laugh, giggle. Hey guys, I'm Caleb C. Thomas. Check out my video on pewdiepie.com.